And I'll turn the time over to Christina.
Hi everyone, my name is Christina from Modern Flower Creation. I am a DIY blogger. I love to craft, but I started crafting when making paper flowers, like making the large paper flowers. And today I am showing you how to make a small paper flower. It's the paper marigold, and I'll show you right here. So this is what we will be making today, this paper marigold. The reason we are making this paper marigold is because today and tomorrow it's Day of the Dead, and a lot of Latin American countries celebrate Day of the Dead. It is a time where we celebrate our loved ones that have passed away, and the marigold actually, because it's the vibrancy of the color, it guides them to their altar. So that is why we're making these paper marigolds today. They're super easy and they're also super cute, but you can make them into garlands. You can put them on the altar. There's so many things that you can include this with your Day of the Dead celebration. So, and a little bit about me, I guess, before we get started on the tutorial. Again, my name is Christina. I was born in Peru, migrated here to Minnesota, I believe in 1999. I always forget either 98 or 99. But my parents came here and my whole family came here, my parents and myself and my brother. And ever since I was extremely young, I can remember crafting. It's always been in my family. Sewing, my grandma introduced me to sewing. Same with my mom. Crocheting, my grandma introduced me to crocheting. But what I remember when it comes to paper was scrapbooking. I remember doing the digital scrapbooking, like buying these discs that you can put in your computer and making digital scrapbook pages and printing them out. So we have oh gosh, we have a ton of scrapbooks at home because my mom and I would make those digital scrapbooking paper or designs, I should say. So anyway, that's a little bit about me. I'd like to know where everyone is watching. So I'm currently in Minnesota, but I'd like to know where you're watching me from, if you're from the Midwest as well, or other areas around the US. Just let me know. And I have my friend Lavasha. She'll be reading the comments to me, and that way I can respond to all of you. So we can get started with the tutorial. Is that good?
You want to use some more places out?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
So we got so we got California.
Welcome from California.
Illinois,
you're just neighbor.
Susie from Iowa.
Oh, nice. So we got some Midwest people. Yay.
Texas, Wisconsin, Ohio.
Oh, wow. So we have like the surrounding states of Minnesota. That's awesome. That's exciting. So before we start with, we'll start with the tutorial, but let's go over the materials. So, and these are all materials from Michael's. And as you're coming in, either you can upload the SVG to Design Space and cut it. I'll be cutting it with you here in the live, or you can also print it out. So the materials, we're using cardstock from Michael's. This is the 50-pound or 65-pound cardstock. You get 5 different colors, and I think this pack is perfect for Day of the Dead because you literally can use like any of these colors for to make a marigold, because we will be adding some color using Distress Oxide. So cardstock, 65-pound. This is solid core meaning that it has the color all around the paper. There's no white core, so there's nothing in between the paper. It's completely solid core. So that's what we'll be using, the cardstock. And I'll be using the color that I'll be using will be the 4th one in the pack. So this one right here is the color that I'll be using. It looks like this. And then, of course, again, the template. This is called a blending tool. And you can kind of see that it comes unattached. And I have one for specific colors, that way I'm not mixing them. So this is the blending tool that we will be using with the Distress Oxide. This is to add some color to the template, to the marigold. You don't have to use it, but I love it because it really does make the marigold look a little bit more real. This one is one with the distress, and this one is one without the distress. You can kind of see that it's darker inside, like in the middle. It's a little bit darker than this one. I just love that, again, it just makes it look a little bit more real. Okay, so we got the blending tool. the Distress Oxide. One thing about the Distress Oxide is that it does get your hands a little bit dirty, but that's okay. And then the blending, or sorry, not the blending tool. This is the Dowel. It's a mini dowel, and you can find this on Michael's as well. Again, it's a super mini dowel. It gets dirty because of the Distress Oxide. You need some hot glue sticks. This is the mini hot glue sticks, Gorilla hot glue sticks. And then, of course, you need your glue gun. I'm using this glue gun. It's by Gorilla, and you can also find this on Michael's. Again, all of the materials here being used are from Michael's. The Cricut Explore Air 2 with the mat, because I'll be cutting the template with my Cricut Explore Air 2. If you don't have one, again, you can just print it out. If you have any questions later on regarding like downloading the template, multiple designs of the template in one piece of paper, just go ahead and email me at hello@modernflowercreation.com and I can send you the PDF. But when you registered, you did get the template as well for this class. Okay, so now we're going to get started with the class. So before I start with showing you how to build or make a paper marigold, any questions that you might have for me before we switch the camera?
One person wants to know, they have all the colors except the one you mentioned.
Oh, that's totally okay. You can use, again, this is the reason I love this pack, because you can literally use any of these colors for the paper marigold. You don't have to use this one. You can even use the first one. I've used the first color too to make the paper marigold. So feel free to use any color that you like. Of course, the paper marigolds come in variation of like orange shades, but like these are, even this, you can do it. This one, maybe not so much, but if you add a little bit of the Distress Oxide, it gives it that orange tint to it. So yeah, feel free to use any of the colors from this pack. You're okay. Any other questions? No? Okay. So we're gonna get started with the making of the paper marigold. I am first going to be cutting it again using my Cricut Explore Air 2 and using a standard grip mat. So the first thing that we're going to do is, one second here, I'm going to click on, okay. First thing that we're going to do is put the paper, the cardstock, on our mat, on our standard grip mat. You can kind of see that there's some Distress Oxide already on the mat. We're going to put it like this. Like that. And then I'm going to bring this over so you can see. We're going to put it inside there, and then I'm going to click on here on this arrow to load it in. And then on this one, so I can cut it. It's the Cricut logo, so it's going to start cutting the template, and 4 come in one. So it's going to cut 4 of the marigolds. I'm going to talk a little bit louder so you can hear me, but basically it'll cut this right here, 4, and in a little bit, once it's done cutting, I'll tell you this right here, do not throw away. I use it for paper flower, other paper flower centers, so it's a good way to utilize this small piece of cardstock for other paper flower centers. So I strongly recommend to not throw this away, because you can use it for other projects, for other paper flower projects, or other paper crafts. So when I ask, have you ever made a paper flower, or have you ever made a paper marigold before? I'd like to know, is this your first time making a paper flower? Let me know in the comments, and Lavasha will be able to tell me.
One person asked, what's the width?
The width of the marigold, is that what you're asking? This is about a 4-inch width. So if you have it on Design Space, just change the width to 4 inches, and you'll get this. Of course, you can make it bigger, because you can make like you can use 12 by 12 cardstock and make a big marigold. I've done that before as well, and it looks very, very pretty. Just imagine this size into a larger size, a 12 inches in diameter marigold. So it's done cutting, but we're going to cut again because we need I like to use 6 or anywhere from 6 to 8. It really depends on how fluffy or how full you want your marigold to look like. So this one right here is done with 7. And this one right here is done, I believe, with 9. So more than 8. But again, it really depends on how full you want your marigold to look like. Now I'm just removing the cardstock from the mat, standard grip mat. Again, I don't throw this away. I like to use this for other paper flower centers. And if you'd like to see me use that piece of cardstock, I do have a video in my Instagram, and I believe there's also one on YouTube that I've created of how I utilized a small piece of cardstock to make a paper flower center. So now I'm just removing the templates. If you have a spatula, you can use that right now, so that way you're able to remove the template from the mat. I like to pop the mat from the back like this, but just be very careful.
So a lot of first timers.
A lot of first timers that are making paper flowers. That's awesome. I'm so happy to be your first paper flower teacher. So we're gonna put another cardstock on the mat, and I'm just gonna put it in there. And then Lavasha, if you could click on the number 1 in the Cricut design space. On the orange one, there we go. Click on that one. Perfect. And we are gonna load it up in a little bit here.
Someone asked how many will they need to cut out?
How many? So for this right here, again, you can use for the class, let's use 8. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I thought I had another one. They're right there. I got 5 so far. This one will cut 4 more. So then I'll have a total of 9, but I won't be needing that many. I'll just use 8 in total. So you can cut 8 of these, and then we'll start curling. For some reason, I don't think it's connecting.
Yeah, there's people are saying that Cricut is down
Oh no, I don't think it is.
for maintenance or something.
I think that's tonight, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe it's that's tonight that they're doing their maintenance. Not right now though. Okay, 1 second. Let me just check that over and see what's going on. But if your Cricut is still working, go ahead and cut it. You need 8 of these. So far I have 5, but you do need 8 of those.
It looks like it was just a maintenance, but it's ended by now.
Let me just connect it again and see if that will help. Oh, there we go. Okay. It's connected again. Okay, here we go. Perfect. Okay, I am back. So I'm gonna load it up again, or load it in. And it's gonna cut again once I click this right here. And it's going to start cutting. Okay, so yeah, you're gonna need 8 of these templates. Again, you can always size these however you would like to make them bigger. You can even make them like, this is maybe a kind of a little bit advanced, but you could even cut the template in half and make both sides even bigger than a 12 by 12 if you wanted. So that way you can make this into like a humongous marigold. It really, you can utilize this marigold and change the size however you like. Again, for the video though, we are making it into a 4-inch marigold at this one. Any questions, Lavasha?
How do you cut 4 to a page?
4 to a page. So the one that I just did, like this, let me show you. Yeah, like this. So you, in design space, you are just gonna wanna duplicate the SVG. So that way you can put them together. What I like to use is I like to use a text or a shape. So that shape, change the size to a letter size, so 8.5 by 11. and then bring the SVG design on top of that shape, on top of that letter shape, so that way you can see if it'll fit on there. But I like to do 4 on a letter size. Of course, you can also make them smaller if you like. So just because I did 4 doesn't mean you don't have to. You can make them smaller. That way you fit maybe even 6 in 1. So you can definitely do that. So now it's done cutting, I believe. Super fast. We're going to unload it. And because we don't need the Cricut anymore, I'm just going to put this aside. Okay, so now remove again the cardstock. See, perfect cut. Perfect cut. I love that. I remove the template from the mat. Again, give it a little help from the back by like popping the standard mat, but don't do it so it's like, so you break it. Be careful. And I'll only need 8, so this is more than enough. But I'll just take all of the templates from the mat. Okay, so now we're going to continue with the assembly. So I'm using this silicone mat from Michaels. You can find this again at Michaels. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got 8 of the templates here. Any questions before I start curling?
Someone wants to know if you're using a hot or cold temp glue stick.
Good question. So I'm using this glue gun. It's a dual temp, and I personally like to use it on the high temp. It adheres better. That's just in my personal opinion. So I'm using the high temp currently, but you can use it on a low temp. But yeah, I like this glue gun because you do have that option. It's a dual temp, so you're able to go back and forth if you wanted. Okay, any other questions before I start curling the petals? Or actually not curling, I went ahead. No questions? Okay, so we're gonna use the Distress Oxide. Grab your blending tool. And this is the right, I hope I'm saying it right, Persimmon, I hope I'm saying it right. But there was another one as well that I use. It's on the list. It's the spiced marmalade. It's this one. So you can use either one. Really, it's based on preference and how you want your marigold to look, but I'll be using this one right here. Okay, so with your blending tool, you are just gonna grab, dab like that, just like that. And then you're gonna grab your template, and that's why I'm using the silicone mat, so that way my desk does not get ruined. It's easy to clean up, but yeah. Okay, so now you're just going to like dab like this, like that. You see that? So I'm leaving a bottom, the top part right here of the design, of the flower design, its own original color, but I am changing the color of the bottom part of each petal. Don't worry about adding like color to the center because no one's going to see that. But I am adding color again to each of the petals of this design. Any questions so far? Okay. You're just going to continue to dab. So it's going to look like this. And you're just going to do the same thing for all of the other ones. Again, it does get messy. Your hands do get messy. But I love doing this because it makes the flower, again, more realistic. It gives it that realistic look. Even though it's just paper, Just adds like a nice touch to the paper flower. See that? And you can use this, the Distress Oxide, for other paper flower designs as well. I love using Distress Oxide. And there are so many other colors as well too. As you can see, this goes by pretty fast. Like that. So I got 3 already. So most of you, is this your first time making paper flowers, right? Is that what was said earlier?
Most of them, yeah.
Most of them, okay. I would say this is a pretty easy paper flower to start with. So that's great that you're doing this. And if you don't have Distress Oxide, don't add it. That's fine. You don't have to add it. The other marigold that I showed you, this one right here, no Distress Oxide. So you can definitely use it or make a paper marigold without having to use the Distress Oxide. So you see right there, I'm not even worrying about the center. There's no need to add any to the center because we'll be gluing those, so we won't be needing to, no one will see it. So no need to add any to the center. Like that. So we got 2 more. And then the next step is to curl them. For that, you'll need your mini dowel. So get your mini dowel ready. And if you missed a step, this video will be available on Michael's YouTube page tomorrow. So you're able to rewatch it. If you don't have the marigold, then you can go ahead and print the marigold or have your Cricut cut it. And you can watch it on Michael's YouTube page tomorrow. Okay, this is the last one, guys. I'll be adding these to my altar that I have. Okay, so there we go. I added them. And you can also add them to the back if you wanted to, because when you curl them up, you can see that you'll be able to see the sides. So, but this one, not this one, or that one, yes, but this one has more color, like this one. You'll be able to see, like you can see here. So, yeah, if you want to add it to the back, you definitely can. Maybe I will actually. Well, add it to the back because when I make paper flowers, I really want them to look realistic. That's my goal when I try to make these paper flowers. Any questions? This goes by super fast.
I think you said it, but if you could just reiterate, somebody asked the name of the Distress Oxide.
Distress Oxide, this one right here.
Okay, and somebody just put it in the chat too, so.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And there's so many colors, so many colors. So yeah, you can, oh, go ahead.
It says, can you tell us what the mini silk?
The mat?
Yeah, the mat.
The silicone mat, this one right here, what it is, or like what?
I believe so, the name of it maybe?
It's by Fiskars. And it's at Michael's. I like it because it protects your work area. Because you can see that it's getting messy right there, like really messy, not super messy, I'm exaggerating. It prevents from your work area to get dirty. And also when you're using a hot glue gun, like it stays on there and it's easy to clean up. So if I put the glue gun there, it's super easy to clean up as well. So if you're just tuning in, I'm just adding color to the marigolds to the back. So I did the front, but I'm also doing the back. Just like that.
Is there any alternatives for the distress oxide?
Yes, there are other alternatives. You can even do Crayola if you wanted. You can find that at Michael's too. Markers, colored pencils. Yeah, I mean, you can, anything that's color, you can add it. You can add. But doesn't it, you'll see what I mean. Like it just looks so pretty. And again, you can put these on your altar if you're celebrating Day of the Dead. See that? This is the last one. And it goes by super fast too. Okay, so you see that those are all of them. Just gonna close this up. We don't need the blending tool anymore. Just gonna leave it right there though. Now you need your dowel, this dowel right here. And what you're gonna do is curl them, curl each petal. So you're gonna put the dowel like that. Bring the petal up and kind of curl them in like this. Just like that. See how it's very curled? That's what you want to do to all of them. To all of the petals. And sometimes I even like to grab them like this and just continue to curl them because this will go for the center of the marigold. So make sure when you're doing this one, you're going to put this aside because we're going to utilize this for the very end. So for the center of the marigold, because you want those to be a little bit, just to look tighter. Like that. And I'm going to do 2 of these like this. So you can see how this one's opened like that. Totally fine. You can just grab it and curl it in like this. Like that. If it keeps opening, not a big deal. You can just curl it like that. And then do the same thing for the other ones. This goes by super fast. Of course, I've made these before. I've made a ton of these, so I'm used to making these, but I promise that they're super easy to make, and once you get it, you are going to be a paper marigold expert. See, like that. Now these ones, you can continue doing them full like that, but it's fine if they kind of open like that. And because the Distress Oxide makes the paper it's not necessarily wet, but it gives it like a little bit of moist to it. You can kind of feel it, but it's fine. Just be gentle with the paper. I've had some times where I've ripped a petal on accident, but it happens. Something like that. And you're just gonna continue. Again, these paper marigolds are perfect for Day of the Dead, which is being celebrated today and tomorrow in many Latin American countries. In my country, from Peru, we like to go to, or the people in Peru, I should say, like to go to the cemetery and bring their favorite food, their favorite drink, play music, and just celebrate their life and just be there present with them. But it's about celebrating their life. And in Mexico, marigolds play a big role in when it comes to Day of the Dead. Marigolds, again, guide them to their altar. They are very vibrant in color. And they're used in, well, on the altars as decoration. You can, again, you can make a garland out of it. You can even make a backdrop with paper marigolds. So I'm going to continue curling all of these petals like that. We got 2 more. Is anyone making these marigolds with me as you're watching? Goes by pretty fast.
Some people are you.
Oh, that's awesome. Where are you in the step? Are you curling the petals too?
Curling, trying to keep up.
Once you make a few, you're going to become a pro at this. They're really easy to make. You can watch a movie as you're curling them. But yeah, so these are already curled. So I want to show you this. So I did the glue on the mat, on the silicone mat, so I can easily take it off. That's why I like the silicone mat so much when using my hot glue gun and also using Distress Oxide. So it really is a really nice mat. Okay, and again, you can find this on Michael's. Can I move forward or should I wait a little bit until you're caught up with me? Let me know. You should have 8 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 curled. And then these 2 are the ones that we curled in the beginning because they're going to be in the center. Is everyone done?
Someone said continue, someone said trying to quickly curl, so they're probably gonna go somewhere.
Okay, continue curling. This step is really easy, like super easy. We're gonna grab all of our, well, one by one, and we're just gonna add glue to the center and just continue putting them on top, making sure like this. So for the first one, I kind of like to leave it open like that, but as I continue to move on with each layer, I like to close them like this, like that, just like that. And I like to add the glue on the base of the previous one. So this is the first one. So this would be my previous one. I don't really add the glue to this one. So if I'm gluing this one like this, I don't add the glue to this design of this flower template. I like to add the glue here. Okay, so we're gonna start with hot gluing. You're gonna grab your glue gun and you're gonna grab your mini hot glue sticks. Mine's already in there. I'm using the high temp. And you're just gonna do like a little bit of glue. I like to push the glue gun in like this so that way I don't get any strings, but sometimes that's hard to avoid the glue strings. But you can see that when I press down and hold it, you don't really get any glue sticks like all over your marigold. Okay, so the first one's there. I'm gonna put this one on top, making sure that the petals are kind of like alternating. Is that the correct word? Just like that, press down. See that? And this one's kind of going up because I like closed all the petals like inward like this. So you're gonna wanna do that for every petal that you continue on. The first one, do not do that, leave it open. But the second one, kind of close it so that we, as we do that, towards the end, it's gonna become like this. All of them are gonna be like going up, closing in. Okay, so that's the second layer. We're gonna do 8 layers here. We're gonna do another glue right there. And this is the third one. You're just gonna wanna close it like this, just like that. And again, make sure that the petals are alternating. So you can see that it's going up. It's forming like a kind of like a ball. Is that what you would call it? Like a half a ball. So you can see like that. See that? So any questions so far? We're on the third layer, and this is what we have so far. This is the first one, second, third. Any questions so far? Good. Okay, perfect. We're gonna move on. We're gonna go ahead and put more glue in the middle. See how easy this is? And once you get the hang of it, you will make a ton of these because they're so easy to make. As your Cricut is cutting them, you just continue to add Distress Oxide to each of the petals, and like you'll yeah. And then you just want to add in there in the middle. I have seen people use this for shadow boxes, and I just think that that's beautiful. You can use these for garlands. You can make cute banners. You can add them, of course, to your shadow box. Just so many things that you can utilize marigolds for. Paper marigolds. So, and I like to play with the petals and kind of like bring them forward like that. As you can see, again, it's kind of like closing in. So we have four left. This one, again, closing it in like this. Just like that. I don't really have like there's not really like technique of like they need to go, each side of the petal needs to touch or whatever, like go like this. You can do that, but that might take a while. But I just like to, you grab the petal, the flower, I mean, and just want to go like this. And it kind of goes in like that anyway, because of you curled each one of the petals. So, okay. How are we doing? How's everyone doing with your marigold if you're making this with us? I'm just adding glue here on is this the fourth? Oh, you can see there was a hot glue string right there. Just gonna take that out. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna add there before the hot glue gets dries. Okay.
Somebody said, great job, Christina. I love mine's unfinished. And somebody's making a shadow box.
Ooh, very cool. Very, very cool. See that? And we're using 8 petals. You can use more than that if you like. But I like to use, like I said earlier, anywhere from 6 to 8. One of mine did have 9. But you can, I guess the more you curl them, the more close like they become. I don't know if that makes any sense. I hope it does. Just gonna add glue right there. That might have been a bit too much, but that's okay. So we're just gonna add this there. We are almost done. And you can use your wood dowel to like push in, like this, just like that. And you can see it's already becoming really small, like that area. So that'll be good for these two. And if you see that the last two have like opened up like that, just go back to it and with your hands, just give it a nice curl like what I'm doing here. Like that. Because I really like the last two to be really curled in, like the petals like that, like really, really curled in. Just like this. And then see how the petals are like really curled in? Do you see the difference between this one and this one? We did this one in the beginning, but Over time, it kind of opens up, but once you have it in there, it'll be fine. So then you go like this and you put it in there. I'm gonna grab my glue gun. I might need more glue stick, so 1 second. I'll be adding this in there though. Look at that. It is already forming. I'm gonna grab another piece of glue stick. Again, these are the mini size glue stick. One tip that I can give you, making lots of paper flowers, because the glue is all the way down there, sometimes when you put the glue in here, like the glue stick, they'll fall down. It won't stay. So what you can do is you grab the glue stick that you're going to put in there, grab it, add a little bit of glue just like that, and then put it in there and glue it with the one that's already in there. So that way it doesn't fall off. Okay, last one. We are just going to curl this more. And you can even see like the marigold. If you're happy with the way it looks, great, it's done. I like mine to be very full. So again, just curling the petals like that. Really curl them in. I love these dowels because you can also utilize them to curl them like this. And then once you have it like this curled, you just pull it out and look at that. It's curled. With a little help, of course, you can also with your hand, just so it's really like there. But yeah, okay. Almost done here. I'll actually be making some big ones. So we're doing more of these, and I'll be making some big ones to add to my altar today. And there we go. We got all of these completely curled, just like that. And same thing, kind of bring them all like this, like that, just like that. See that? And we're going to add glue right in the middle. I'm going to let this go. I don't like glue strings. Ask any of your florists if they like glue strings. We don't like glue strings. Okay, so now we're going to just put this in there, just like that. You can grab your dowel because it's perfect, because you'll be able to like poke it through like this, and you can kind of move it around. You can move it around like that before it like sets in. And there we go. We are done. Look at this marigold. It's super easy to make. Like super, super easy. And you can see the distress oxide from the side right there. How it looks. It just adds, again, it makes it look very realistic. And from the back, you can also see it, but really from the sides, look at that. If someone's looking at it from the sides, they'll be able to see that color in there. And that's the beauty of paper and ink, that you can mix the two and just make a paper flower that looks realistic. So there you go. We made this one. This one doesn't have any distress oxide. And as you can see, this one, the petals in the middle are a little bit different. That's because I only used, I believe I used 6 for these. So yeah, look at that. These are really easy paper marigolds to make. Super, super easy. Any questions that you might have? Any steps that you might have missed that I can share again?
Someone asked if they picked another color. Do they pick a distress oxide coloring a shade darker than the paper?
Yes. Yep. Yep. Correct. Do a shade darker than the paper. Yeah, because this one is from the pack that I used, the 4th color in, this one right here. And I chose a darker distress, a darker color, like so this one right here. I can't say the word, it's the ripe Persimmon, I believe that's how you say it. But yeah, and I also have this one right here. So this is a spiced marmalade, and this one is a little bit lighter compared to this one. So this is the one that we used just now, and this one you can utilize as well. If, for example, I'd be using this one if I was using like this right here. So yeah, let me see, let me get the right one.
Another question at the a step that was missed, that's the one missed. Where is the pattern in the Cricut design space and how is it cut?
So the pattern is the template. I designed the template, the Marigold template. I believe I have an extra right here so I can show you. This pattern was created by me. And you can find this if you go when you registered for the class. I believe it was the last one, the last item. It said Marigold template, and it's an SVG. So you can upload that to your Cricut, and your Cricut can cut it for you. Or if you'd like a PDF, just go over to my website, and you'll be able, under my blog, search Marigold, and the Marigold blog will come up, and just scroll down to material list, and you'll be able to download the PDF so you can print it and then trace it on like colored cardstock and cut it with scissors. So I like to use the machine, this electronic cutting machine. It's the Explore Air 2. It just cuts it a little bit faster rather than doing it by hand, but you can also do it by hand as well if you wanted to. And it's about 4 inches in diameter. So if you can, when you upload the template to Design Space, you can just change the width to 4 inches and you're good to go. Duplicate it to however many you want. You can also use cardstock that's 12 by 12. So maybe more of this will be able to fit in the paper instead of just the 8.5 by 11, which is this one right here. Any other questions that you might have for me?
Doesn't seem like we have any more questions. I do want to remind everyone that this was recorded and you'll be able to watch it on our Michael's YouTube channel in about 24 hours.
Yes, you'll be able to see it on their page tomorrow. So if there are any misstep, any that you missed, you can also check their Michael's, but if you have any questions, just reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram at modernflowercreation.com and just send me a DM and I'll be able to answer your questions. But again, it's super easy. All you need is a template, your dowel, a glue gun, the Distress Oxide, but this is optional. You don't have to use it, but just see that like it just makes it very, very pretty. So yeah, and cardstock and Cricut Explore Air, and that's all. Like you're good to go. You can cut them and just curling each of the petals with a dowel, and then it's done. Like they're super, super easy to make.
All right, then thank you so much, Christina, and thank you everyone for tuning into class today.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Michaels, for inviting me and hosting this class. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.